Hello everybody. Today we will be discussing Module 3 and some of the components that are within Module 3. The group members include Sakran, Mustafa, Brianna, Herman, Aditi, and Harpreet. So we will be starting off with the business model. Each business has two main components, a revenue model and a cost model. The revenue model defines how a business generates income. Every business must have a source of revenue in order to survive. A business can generate revenue by offering a service or by offering a product. In some cases, it can offer both. A great example of a service-based business is Bell Canada. Their primary business offerings include non-tangible telecommunication services in exchange for a pre-negotiated monthly fee, so that their clientele can use electronic devices to communicate with other people. Loblaws is a great example of a product-based business. They provide tangible goods such as food products to their customers in exchange for a fixed price. The cost model defines how a business spends its money to generate revenue. Cost can be broken down into two categories: the cost of goods sold, which can be abbreviated as COGS, and operating costs. Each business has a unique cost of goods sold. Let's look at the two examples mentioned earlier. Loblaw's cost of goods sold is the supplier price Loblaws pays for the products it sells, along with the labor Loblaws retains to make the products presentable in their stores. This is because most products that companies like Loblaws sell come from the supplier in vast industrial-sized bulk packaging that needs to be broken down into individual consumer units to be sold to the many consumers that visit the stores. Loblaw's operating costs include things like each store's lease payments, utility payments, insurance, and a load of other costs associated with the operation of the business infrastructure. Bell Canada follows a different path. Because Bell Canada is a provider of a non-tangible service, its COGS is related to the costs associated with generating and delivering its telecommunication services. These include the costs of all the cable connections from its servers to its customers, satellite connections to mobile devices, wholesale costs of media content streamed by its TV subscribers, and so on. Their operating costs are similar to Loblaw's for their storefronts, and these costs are associated with serving their customers. These costs include Bell Store's lease payments, utility payments, insurance, and a load of other costs that are associated with the operation of a retail storefront. Sometimes as a business matures or transforms, there's a need for the company to reimagine its business model. This reimagination can be minor in nature, like how a computer store may divulge into the stream of a subscription-based revenue to sell warranty or customer support packages with the computers they sell. Or this reimagination can be major, as in the case of Amazon. Amazon was founded by Jeff Bezos in 1994 as an online retail platform for selling books. Over the years, as his business kicked off and grew, Bezos realized that he could manufacture a reading device with his own company's banner on it and offer to sell the same books that he originally sold to the customers who bought this company's reading device, but at a fraction of the physical book's costs because of the digital format of the reading material, which reduced costs drastically. On top of that, he also was now able to generate new revenue from the books that he was selling on his digital platform, from the platform itself, and from the warranty and support packages that were available to the customers that bought the reading device. Later on, Bezos would go out and take Amazon into surreal markets that they've never been a part of, like the grocery business. It's the continued success of any business that allows it to generate more capital, which in turn is used to diversify the company's lines of businesses. This, therefore, generates drastic reimagination every time of diversifying the business's revenue model and cost models. So from this, we learned that the business model seems very simple yet intricate and crucial to any business. The associated cost and revenue models ought to work in unison so that business may perform in a profitable manner. We also learned that most accounting deficiencies are almost always a result of what happened in both of these models, which further highlights the importance of planning and mapping the cost and revenue models accurately to paint a perfect business model. So now we'll be talking about the first mover myth. The first mover myth is a concept from Module 3. This concept talks about how businesses that claim to be the first movers in a market and claim to have a first mover advantage often do not actually have one. It is known that the first mover advantages are not as easy as they are said to be, and in order to become a first mover in a market, lots of time and money has to be spent. Businesses who claim to have a first mover advantage often fail with their products at some point of time. It is important that first movers bring forward new products and are continuously improving their product line. Newer technology is always being introduced, and it is important that first movers take advantage of the resources they have and continue trying to keep that first mover advantage, as it can be very easy to lose. There are certain requirements that are required for businesses to achieve a first mover advantage, with the first one being that you have to be the very first to enter in the business or be one that enters at a very early stage in the market. The second requirement being that you need to dominate market percentage and hold a majority of the customers. And the third requirement is that you need to create switching costs so that you can retain these customers. An entrepreneur talked about in this course is Bill Gates, and he is a great example of an entrepreneur whose business reflects a first mover advantage. Bill Gates' company Microsoft introduced the first ever Windows-based computer to the market, and since then Microsoft has dominated the market with computers all around the world running on Windows programming. Gates created Microsoft at an early stage. He then dominated the market with Windows becoming the most popular computer platform in the world, with 77.4% of computers running on Windows operating systems, according to studies conducted in 2020. Gates has not just continued improving Microsoft computers and Windows software, but instead he has introduced new product lines and moved into different markets where Microsoft was not present before. This was done in order to maintain a first mover advantage and provide existing customers newer and better services for their existing platforms. Next, we will be talking about the long tail theory. The long tail theory was coined by Chris Anderson. This theory entails that companies sell low volumes of niche products or hard to find products, in contrast to selling large volumes of products that can become bestsellers. Anderson based this theory on the assumption that consumers in a modern economy are switching from mass market buying of hit products to more niche and customized buying. The sale of less common products can reduce advertisement and distribution costs. Moreover, in the long term, sale of products that are not mainstream will allow companies to create a unique type of brand loyalty. The primary aim of this theory is to sustain profits over the long term. Mark Silverman is an entrepreneur who utilizes this concept with his company American Eagle. American Eagle has a sub-brand called Aerie. Aerie specializes in undergarments such as lingerie and sleepwear. On the contrary, American Eagle doesn't focus on any niche market like Aerie does. Selling to the niche market allows setting prices at a higher level as compared to mass market products. Aerie has the capacity to induce brand loyalty among clients given the fact that it has some brand of American Eagle. Moreover, it can use already established distribution channels, American Eagle, to push out its products. All these factors will result in long-term profitability. Forbes magazine reported in 2019 that Aerie became the primary growth driver for the parent company, American Eagle, as it focuses on the niche market of women's apparel. So next up, we will be talking about the beachhead strategy. A beachhead strategy is a startup strategy in which companies launch an unknown product into an unclear market. Typically, when startup companies bring forward new products, the market is studied and the company attempts to estimate the market value of the new product. The main goal of this strategy is to target customers in a beachhead market and is an important factor in having a successful product launch. To better define the strategy, let us assume a startup launching an airport-based technology business. To plan a successful early stage performance, one will need to analyze the target addressable market. Within the target market, the company then looks for a number of international and domestic airports that will be compatible with the usage of this technology. The company now has segmented the data for their product and proper industry database. This is the beachhead market for the technology. Basically, the strategy provides a level of certainty and de-risking the launch and starting point for product development. The beachhead strategy can be divided into 4 stages, shown on screen. So the lean startup can be understood as a 21st century approach to understanding customers' problems and finding solutions to them. Key concepts of the lean startup include applying scientific methods to building your company based on a series of hypotheses about your business, as well as including consistent updates with accurate information as you grow your business. The Lean Canvas is a one-page summary of your startup. The Lean Canvas allows for changes to be made to the business plan as the business grows and develops. The business model includes 9 boxes for building your business. And here's an example of the Lean Canvas using Facebook as the